The Chalice and Vessel of Freedom. Yeshua teaching. Beloved one, in the closing and opening of the Freedom Transmissions, I wish to share some final truth which you may or may not wish to hear. Freedom is a responsibility as a human being and as a divine sovereign being. While divine freedom is available to all through me, the divine essence of peace, human freedom doesn't often look or feel the same. As an energy field, a spirit being in form, wheat in chaff, human freedom is hard-earned and hard to maintain in a world of others in imbalance, who continuously wish to strip you of yours, or your own imbalanced self who does the same to you and to others, even if it knows not what it does. Freedom is not an entitlement in human or in divine. The moment you feel entitled to it or take it for granted is the moment it disappears faster than the Cheshire cat. There is no room for complacency, separation, and imbalanced polarity in the heart of freedom, for divine freedom is the essence of transcendence from these veils. It is the state of being realized when the 7 imbalances come to balance. It is the light found when through presence you become conscious that you are consciousness itself. That is true divine freedom. I offer this to help you to shift your perception away from the illusion of freedom, mired in your expectations and projections, which leads to self-made disappointments and resentments. Fantasy freedom is mistaking freedom with having the power of getting to have and do whatever you want. That freedom is false hope, and if you realized it, it would be a false freedom. The loud bell that tempts you by promising you freedom while shackling you to want and regret. The hope for freedom within your external reality without having to take any responsibility for creating it internally. True freedom is a responsibility, choice, and privilege offered to all. However, it is a rare few within your world who accept the offering and actually find true divine freedom. For to do so means you must transcend the idea of what freedom should be or could be, the fantasy freedom, to realize the essence of freedom itself. Freedom on the external cannot come until it is realized on the internal. You have all, since the dawn of time, been looking to find it on the outer. That is an unwinnable, unsustainable war if you have not gotten the memo. For freedom does not lie in the seen, it lies in the unseen. Thus you must look to the unseen, the space of consciousness and spirit, to realize your deliverance from suppression, repression, or even oppression of freedom. Freedom is indeed something you need to fight for. However, the fight for inner freedom can only come through peace. When peace is the sword instead of violence and shame, that is where real freedom begins. The freedoms of rights you currently enjoy on your planet, of varying forms and dimensions, depending on the culture and country in which you live, were created most often through war. Freedoms that come through war are always precarious, fragile, and hard-won. Some win, many lose. If you saw the horrors of the destruction it took to create the freedoms you enjoy now, you would weep and tremble. Many of you now only watch such horror on your screens at a safe distance. Some of you now enjoy playing war in your computer games without understanding the catastrophic reality of war. When there is not a war to fight, you make one up. All you have ever known as a world is the fight for freedom, some illusion freedom in which you all get everything you want and live happily ever after. As a world, you have fought wars for your faith, you have fought wars for your freedom, you have even fought wars for your peace, which is contrary to its essence. My essence, your true essence. Such fights always result in more of these energies for some and less for others, and never lead to true divine in the long run. The reason you continue to fight so hard for it in an unwinnable war of separation is because you have been picking the wrong battle. All along, the only fight that has ever mattered, the only fight that will ever result in universal freedom is the fight for forgiveness, the one fight that cannot be fought through war, only through the strength of peace. You shed blood in all of the outer crusades and wars, and yet the one fight that sets you free is the one only a rare few have ever had the courage to fight, the fight to forgive. It is not so much of a fight and more of a right, a sovereign right and holy power that lies within you. When will you exercise your right to forgive? It is the only fight, the only right that comes from the choice of peace and surrender, and thus delivers you into peace and divine freedom, the freedom of love. Surrendering to forgiveness is the only battle that will ever result in divine freedom and peace for you as an individual and for you all as a world. I was the chalice and the vessel then. I lived in surrender, died in surrender, and was resurrected through surrender. I surrendered my body, my blood, my life to create the pathway to peace for you to follow. Through these transmissions, I am revealing the path to you in a new way. You are now the chalice and the vessel. It is now up to you to follow, realize, and evolve the path, the way. The path of the river, the magi, the star. The path that exists beyond the passage of time, for the path is not only the way to the narrow gate, but also the passage through it. What I was then, peace and freedom, is up to you to become now, not through sacrifice, unholy wars, and crosses, but through inner transformation, kindness, resilience, compassion, consciousness, and presence. Through these energies, you win not the war, but the peace. Why fight the war when you can realize now in simplicity what all wars have been waged for, but none have ever won? Peace. The freedom of peace. Your signature upon the 9th transmission is a commitment to this journey to the heart of God. All that has been offered to you through these, the freedom transmissions, as with all of my transmissions of the past and to come, is that which helps you to see the pathway of peace through the sacred heart and clear eyes of your Yeshua self, your authentic self. Always remember, nature is the common thread that unites you all, for the nature of matter is resolved unto the roots of its own origins. All creatures exist in and with one another, and they will be resolved again into their own roots. Your true nature is divine. Trust in your wheat and chaff. Be in your natural essence. Rejoice in your Yeshua self. Run with the horses, hear the silent bell, and feel the rising star. The beloved is risen, risen within you. That is not a burden, but it is a responsibility. If you have found your way here, it is the responsibility you came to serve for yourself, family, ancestors, beloveds in spirit and world. You are a liberator of love, through love, as love. Accepting that responsibility with joy instead of fear is what leads you to the joy and peace afforded to you through the power of the light of consciousness. That is the deliverance, salvation, and resurrection of divine freedom. You have said to me, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I say to you, Thy will be done in heaven as it is on earth. Abun de Shemaiah, the valley of the Lord. Have I said that right? Abun de Shemaiah, the valley of the Lord. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of grief, pain, void, or death, fear not, for you already walk within the light, the holy space of the presence of freedom. Therein I am with you. Know me not as I was, but as I am. Know yourself not as you were, but as you are. The beloved is risen and alive within you. You are the chalice and the vessel. Let the waters rise and the fires descend. The fires rise and the waters descend. Rest in the space in the presence of light. Let there be light.